Young children, say it with me. LeBron James!
Incorrect.
In no way are we supposed to bet the 7th seed over the 2nd seed. In no way. Don't come out here thinking
you did a great job.
you now the deputy principal. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the NBA SA show. Gentlemen, we are not in the studio.
We are in the studio.
No, you're not. We are in my lounge.
What's this?
But what I am proud about is we got lapels. Jet, show your lapels. Keiki, we are next level. ESPN, we're coming for you. In today's episode, we're very excited. The playoffs are here. We're not talking planes anymore. There are 8 different series happening at the moment. Most of them have played 1, some have played 2 at the time of this recording. But we are so excited to tell you, if you haven't watched it, what you've missed. And we want to tell you what you're going to watch if you watch it after this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It's the NBA SA show, and we're going to talk so much shit. Catch you after the break. Nice.
Hey, we made it. Nigga, we made it. Hey, damn, we made it. Nigga, we made it.
Don't tell me what to do.
Welcome back to the show. I will tell you what to do, Tilly. The first thing I want to talk about are of the 8 different series that are happening. There are a few of them that are almost a waste of time because the one team is just too good for the other. One of them being Atlanta versus the Celtics. The Celtics ended 2nd, am I right, Kirk? Yes. Atlanta ended 7th, and that series is not looking good for Atlanta. Kirk, what have you seen, bro?
Not a whole lot. So I didn't watch the first game. I watched the second game last night. And for 5 to 7 minutes, the game was interesting. Yeah. ATL led for a bit of the first quarter. Actually, I think they were leading at the end of the first quarter. But after that, Celtics just kicked into gear and they were playing with their food. The way they were passing the ball, the way they were moving the ball around, the way they were getting to the basket at will, the way they were swatting shots, the way they were rebounding, they were just totally dominant. If you value your sleep, don't wake up for this game. The only people that will enjoy watching this game are Celtic supporters. That's it. Yeah.
That's about it, right?
Yeah.
Timmy, feel the same way?
Even if you don't value your sleep. Still don't watch.
Yes. Yeah. Another series, Timmy, I know you've been following quite closely, is the 76ers Philadelphia. Philadelphia versus the Nets.
No, it's like that because
Yeah. There's only one team playing.
There's only one team playing, right? The only team that could possibly beat Philly is Philly, right? Because the Nets aren't going to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Philly doesn't even want to be there. Right? Embiid, Harden, they basically took the game off. Right? The Nets came out and they've game planned and they're chucking triple teams at Embiid. And the reality is that the second that it became the second half, and they required to win the game. They put it out. It's going to be a sweep. At best, a gentleman's sweep because maybe they play only their bench. Maybe they want to sting it out a little bit more. But that series is going nowhere.
Feel the same, Kirk?
100%.
Yeah. And of course, the other one is Denver. The Denver, Minnesota. Before we started recording, Tim was like, I don't even know who Denver's playing against. They're all playing Minnesota, Tim. Have you watched the game?
Actually,
You have?
I have.
Okay.
And to be completely fair to that series, Minnesota still have enough talent to have an interesting game or two, right? Edwards isn't going to be completely terrible throughout the entire playoffs. And Jokic is always fun to watch. Murray is always good to watch and to watch them flip. So, heading into the playoffs, people were critiquing Denver and saying they can't play any defense, right? It has been interesting to watch. Actually, they've been playing proper defense in these playoffs. And so just from a pure interest perspective around can Minnesota pull anything together because they're such an odd team and they've got lots of talent, right? And how is Denver going to flip their switch and get themselves ready for the next round? And so you're not going to watch this series because you're worried about who's going to actually win or not, but there are a lot of little subplots that actually it's worthwhile watching.
Yes. Quick, just before we go for the break, if you were to guess, Boston 4-0, 4-1, 4-2, what do you give Atlanta?
I don't care.
4-0.
Say 4-1. Look,
You reckon they have one win in him?
Trae Young could go off and drop 50,
50.
in a game and they could steal one. The thing I like about these series though is that the teams playing in them, I like Anthony Edwards getting playoff experience, coming against a team and feeling what playoff basketball is like. Same like in Brooklyn, Dinwiddie and Mikal Bridges. Those guys getting experience and feeling what playoff basketball is like. Because it's different, and for those guys to progress, it's good experience for them. So that's the one thing that I'm enjoying. At least.
I mean, is it though?
Getting your back door kicked in?
Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges went to a finals before. Dinwiddie was in the conference finals last year. They've been on big stages. They just aren't stars.
Oh no, we're gonna speak about it later.
They are role players
so
who are
they-
having to play
yes.
as stars.
Well, but I mean, thing is showing his worth. Who was it? The Brooklyn
Bridges.
guy? Yeah.
If your team
He's
has
dropping-
Bridges
As your best
as
player.
their best player,
Nah, you're getting
right?
hiding.
You are going nowhere, and you're about to tell me, you're about to say, but look, he's putting up big numbers, right? Sadiq Bey on the Atlanta team, when he was playing for Detroit, scoring 30 a game. Yeah?
In the playoffs.
No, but my point is, right, somebody's going to have to score 30. Yeah? And you're a CAC team, somebody's still going to have to score 30.
Someone's getting
Right?
25 shots.
Yeah.
Someone.
Yeah, and they're good enough to make some of them.
Yes. But the point is, you playing against a team that really doesn't want you to score. Like in the regular season, they don't give a fuck if you go off for 20, 30, 40. In the playoffs, I'm going to fuck you up.
Philly don't give a fuck. Score, we're going to score more.
Yeah. Do you give the Nets one game or 0?
No, I give them 0 games.
0.
No, I give them 0 games.
Denver boys or Denver finishing 4-0, 4-1?
Oof.
I don't see Minnesota winning one. I don't. I've watched, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it.
I do.
barely scored
I do
18
see
if
Trey
they
winning
scored.
one,
18
and I
in the
see
first game.
Philadelphia maybe slipping up.
I'll give the Wolves one.
Look at him. You know what? I'm a generous guy.
Yeah.
I'll give them one.
There's so much talent on that
Yeah, I know.
on that roster. There's so much talent on that roster. Edwards could have a big game. Conley could have a big game. Cat could have a big game. Hell, two of them could have a big game at the same time. Yeah.
They will all have a big game. They'll all have 3 quarters.
After the break, we talk about the 5 series that are interesting. My favorite that I've been following is the Knicks versus the Cavs. It is unbelievable how like it is. Obviously, we'll get to Kirk's team with Golden State. Look, we even got a popcorn holder dedicated to Kirk. But immediately after the break, we got Liams Lambada. Catch you now.
Are you gonna spill the popcorn so we take the broom out
Right.
for Golden State? No?
Catch you now.
Too soon.
Too soon. Welcome back to the show. It's the NBA SA show, season 2. We are here with Tim and Kirk, and we are 3 friends from South Africa that love basketball and the NBA. And in this segment, we like to call it Liams Lambada. If it's your first time watching, Liams Lambada is called Liams because our producer is producer Liam, and he does a little show, or a little part of the show where it's a game, and you guys can play along with us, and we're gonna see who wins the game. I think Tim's won 2 games. I think I've only won 1 game, and I think Kirk's won like
I'm on a
3 or 4.
three-peat.
Yeah,
I've just
Kirk's in the
completed my
lead.
three-peat.
But we're not really counting, so
No,
who cares?
who's
Unless
counting?
I'm leading. Then we count. Alright, Liam, what are we doing, bro? Okay.
I thought you said you're going to mumble.
You know why we you know why we are. Even Liam has a lapel, guys.
My bro.
Sisa.
Even Liam has a lapel.
Sisa.
Here we go.
So it's been a long time since you played the game.
Been a long
Been a
time.
long time.
Been a minute.
So I thought I'd take it easier.
You shouldn't have left us.
This,
Well, I about don't beat step 2.
this week, guys,
Baby girl, what?
Thank you. Well done on that.
Let's go on, Liam.
this week we are just doing general knowledge about the NBA.
Okay.
Yo,
How the rules work?
So what are the other weeks?
It was themed around logos, Tim.
Okay.
It was themed around
Right.
sayings, Tim. Are you here?
Timothy.
Are you here?
Timothy. DDAP.
The rules are as follows. Liam will ask a question. This is my buzzer. Kirk's buzzer. Tim's buzzer.
Why is my buzzer so quiet?
Because you want to talk cock. Yeah. They punished
muted
you.
you. They muted you.
Yeah. Cancel culture. Here we go. Question 1. Who's the coach?
Michael Malone.
Okay. Who's the coach of the Denver Nuggets? Michael Malone.
You're
Last
off
year's
to a flyer.
Last year's coach of the year, no? If I'm not mistaken.
Not to be called Mike Malone.
Yeah. Michael Malone. Here we go.
Question 2. For question 2, I accept 2 answers. If you get both, you get both. If you get one, somebody else can shout the other.
Wesley. Choose.
You shouted your name, that's what this is.
Okay.
Oh,
Then I'm out. I'm out.
Strap
Go and shout your name.
Boston Celtics.
Him?
Yes, of course.
Digo.
Oh,
Okay, that's your answer.
Yes.
You don't have another answer?
I mean,
Well, I mean,
you can go second.
If you count where they were before, then the Lakers technically have the same amount.
Lakers as well.
Yeah.
The answers are the Lakers and the
Both get one. Okay.
It's controversial, right? Depends if you count the
I know.
championships
I know, yeah,
before Los Angeles.
We should generally-
Minneapolis.
But we will hear, so I get the point.
Next question. What is the name of the NBA championship trophy?
The Larry O'Brien
Yeah.
Trophy.
2-2-0. Hey, I better catch up
Like,
here.
I was gonna get that shit.
Okay. Next question.
Madison Square Garden, New York City.
Incorrect.
Yo! How's that not?
Because it's an old stadium. It will be one of the newer ones.
Yeah. Can you say the city and the team? Do you have to say the actual arena's name?
The team's name, you get the extra point if you can name the arena.
So it's a guess. Give me a guess.
Okay. Since it's a new stadium and they just built it, I'm gonna go with Golden State's arena, which used to be the Oracle Arena and is now.
Can split this point. If he's right, then I'll tell him the answer.
I don't know what it is now.
Incorrect.
I'm gonna go with Dallas Mavericks.
Incorrect.
The Staples
Anyone
Center.
have another guess?
Staples Center.
No. You guys all wrong. Don't
I mean, you might as well guess.
Might as well have
I'll go with the Houston Rockets.
Nope.
Spurs.
No, man. Hell.
Answer? Chicago.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so now get that one.
2-2-0.
Next question. Should be a quick one.
Who's gonna win?
Die.
It was tough.
Call it.
What?
The hatred.
Adam Silver.
You know what?
Adam Silver.
I actually edit this video also. I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna find it, and I'm sending this point to Tim. The commissioner, of course, is Adam Silver.
I must say, I felt like that was Wesley's.
I think Liam's starting to couple feelings. Three more.
3 for them. Yep, 3 more questions.
3-2. No. Bruh, you have to get this right.
You can still catch
Here we
up.
go.
What is it? This Brian's got more than all of us. Why are you supporting him?
Because he
What's wrong with you?
supported me. Here we go.
I'm a likable champ.
It's called a quadruple double.
So,
A quadruple double, for those of you that don't know, it's when you score double digits in 4 different categories: points, rebounds, assists, and maybe blocks or steals.
Turnovers.
Yeah, turnovers.
Dwight Howard.
He doesn't play anymore, right?
He's not.
This player doesn't? Or
So
Would-
I first have to give you guys have to guess first. 'Cause there's
Okay, okay. So Quadruva, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Okay, so it's not him. It's got to be a big man.
that thing makes two sounds. Actually, I'm gonna go with Chris Paul.
Nah, I can't
So-
be Chris Paul.
Turnovers.
There's
Now you got
actually
15
4
steals.
players who have done it before.
Wow.
And I don't think you know any of them.
Yo.
Hey, now we will get it.
Hey guys, I know you have a basketball show, but you probably don't know that shit, right? You don't know shit. Nah, I know it.
Okay, anyone want to have another guess?
Yeah, let's get
There's
it.
4 points up for grabs.
Go for him.
Oscar Robertson.
No.
No? One more guess.
Close though.
He was close. I mean, he averaged a triple double.
Charles Barkley.
Incorrect.
Ah, I thought Charles would get it.
Let's try David Robinson.
That's 1 point for Chris.
Whoa! Okay.
That is some impressive shit.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Are we just carrying? Why was Oscar?
Because there's 4 points up for grabs, yeah?
But if you can't get it now,
Yeah.
guess then
One more guess.
Last guess for everybody.
Look at
Bill
that
Russell.
shit.
Incorrect. Okay,
Okay.
the 3 other players.
Michael Jordan. Scottie Pippen. Larry Dimas.
Hey, minus points here. Minus points to somebody on zero.
Oh, he's on-
He's on naught. We can't give him a
I'm on -1.
Answers are-
Nate Thurmond. I don't know that guy. Alvin Robertson is actually Oscar Robertson, isn't it? Hakeem.
Look here.
Robertson. No, it's not. Yeah. Hakeem Olajuwon. These are all.
Is Alvin and
really
Oscar
old
not? Is
players.
Alvin and Oscar not the same person?
Clearly not, because Alvin is Alvin and Oscar is Oscar.
Isn't that right, Tanya?
I'm gonna Wikipedia that shit, and it's gonna be like Alvin, Oscar Robertson.
Because actually the White Owl is my servant.
We should have gotten Hakeem.
Should have actually gotten
Should have
Hakeem.
gotten Hakeem.
I knew it's gonna be a big man. It has to be, man. Because points and rebounds and assists should come easily, but then blocks
Was
is
Alvin?
where you get the
But
fourth
all
one.
could have been steals.
Yeah, but you know, to
Or
steal a
turnovers?
ball 10 times.
Is easier than blocking
No ways.
somebody 10 times.
No
Of
ways.
course.
For David Robertson and Hakeem to block 10 blocks as opposed to steal, maybe stealing is much harder than blocking. You can be tall enough to just lam there and wait for short, brother.
But
Swat them like little flies.
I think Hakeem averaged a shitload of steals.
You think? More than blocks? No ways.
Maybe more than assists.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway,
Anyway.
both of you were wrong.
Okay,
Next question.
final question. The score is 3 for Tom, 3 for Kirk.
No, it's for me. So it's getting down to the final one.
Don't know.
If I get this right, nobody wins, right?
I'll give you 5 points.
Let's go. Let's go. You can see who
This
pays.
question must be
You can see who pays his invoice. Here we go.
The final question.
Michael Jordan.
Incorrect.
Kak, man.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Bill Russell.
Young children, say it with me. LeBron James!
Incorrect.
Answer, please.
The answer is Alex Caruso.
Can we give it to him?
I don't know what the fuck just happened.
What really happened was,
You didn't win.
is the Chicago Bulls is the real GOAT.
So the score ended up 3-3 for them too.
We have to have a tiebreaker. You have a tiebreaker? Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
We'll wrap it up with a tiebreaker.
Kind of
But you can't answer.
No.
kind of hard question, but what pressure is the NBA Bulls pump up to
Whoa.
in PSI?
What
I'll
pressure?
give closest.
In PSI.
Yeah. It's not. I'll give you like it's between 1 and 10.
7.
Yeah, get the answer from you as well.
I go 6. I got all that bottom side in.
The answer is between 7.5 and 8.5.
If I had to say 8, who would have won that?
Thinking rock, paper, scissors.
Let's give Kirk a round of applause for winning it 4 weeks in a row. From not being able to win one to winning 4
Or
in
even
a row.
answer the question.
Yeah, no. Well
It's
done.
because they introduced parity by giving us buzzers.
Even though the buzzers don't really mean shit, because even when I'm first, he goes first.
Listen, Liam's got that secret hearing because mine doesn't actually make a sound. So you just couldn't hear it.
Yeah, oh true.
It's not on your frequency,
Yeah,
sir.
exactly,
Not on your
exactly,
frequency.
yes.
Yeah?
It's in producer frequency.
Yeah.
Which you understand.
It's on a need to hear basis. And you don't need to hear. You didn't hear that, did you?
After the break, we talk about New York and Cleveland. We're really going to get into that next. But the talk that I think the world is talking about is, can the Sacramento Kings actually do it? Catch you after the break. Welcome back to the show. It's the NBA ASA show. And now we get into the like a meaty part. If you are a real basketball fan and follow basketball, then you, like the three of us, are so excited every single evening to watch one of 3, maybe 4 fixtures of high quality, high intensity basketball. The first series I want to talk about, gentlemen, which I think is the most fair series in terms of ability. It's Cleveland versus New York. Maybe you guys feel differently, but when I watch the game, from minute 1 to minute 48, I can't call who's gonna go on a run, who's dominating. It just goes left and right, east and west, and I'm loving what I'm seeing. Do you agree? Disagree? What do you see? Are you enjoying it? Katie, your thoughts?
I am enjoying it. I was watching Garland go crazy in
Game 2. Yeah.
Yes, it was so much fun to watch.
Sorry, he was so nervous in game 1, eh?
Yeah,
Shame, I felt for him. He
Yeah.
looked like a guy in his first mega game, and it was overwhelming.
yeah,
I think it was overwhelming. And game 2 was like, no, I'm over this now.
yeah. I mean, that just shows the quality of a superstar. As we say, as the lights get brighter, they just rise to the occasion. And in the first game, it was like the deer in headlights, and he was like, "But I can do this shit."
Yeah.
And he came out and he balled in the next game. So, yeah. So it's really I like the fact that it's close. And actually, you're right. I can't call it. I'm not sure. I suspect the advantage lays with Cleveland.
Home court.
Yeah, I suspect Cleveland, although they've lost home
They've lost
at
home
the
court.
moment. Yeah, they've lost home court. But
For now.
I do feel that they feel slightly better at this
Cleveland.
point. Cleveland, yeah, at this point, yeah.
Timmy?
So first, I want to point out, you said we get really excited to watch games in the evening. That's a lie. There's no fucking games in the evening.
Yeah. Maybe if we're lucky on a
By
Saturday.
evening, he means
Weekends,
Yeah.
It means 1 o'clock in the morning, right to 4 o'clock in the morning. Just to be clear.
For the East games.
Yeah, don't lie to people, please. I agree with you. I think it's an awesome series, right? I really do. And as much as New York won that first game, shout out to Charlie James, right? Our only friend who's a New York fan, right? Actually, I still think that Cleveland are going to come through. They are a more balanced team. They've got better bigs. They've got better guards. They generally shoot better. The Knicks are a little bit banged up. And I know they did what they needed to do by winning that first game. I still think that quality is going to come through. And as much as you guys have pointed out that Garland did look like a little bit of a deer in the headlights, I'm not sure that I put that all on him. Actually, I think that there's a broad lack of experience across there other than Mitchell, right? And he's generally been completely comfortable taking the ball. But actually, they don't have a true out-and-out point guard who is going to facilitate things, to make sure that Mobley gets some touches, to make sure that Jared Allen gets his touches, to make sure that the ball is spread around. And so I think just what happened was, that was Cleveland's mechanism for figuring out that they were in the playoffs, rather than anybody not being ready for the stage, per se. And I think that they're going to be better for it. right? I think that they took the punch, and I think they're going to throw many to come.
Yeah, I do feel that if New York are able to keep it close going into the fourth, they're in with a shout, because Donovan Mitchell, as good as he is, he's come up short in the playoffs before. When he takes it as a one-on-one battle and he feels that he needs to take the game over and run the show. And I think if they keep it close, they can knock him, because Brunson is fantastic. He's calm, he's cool.
He's so
he runs the
composed,
show. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he gets his shots. He doesn't take crazy stuff. He always takes good shots for the most part. So I think that's New York's out, is if they keep it close going into the fourth, they could upset them. Yeah.
But as much as Brunson is a winner and he takes good, high-quality shots, Randall has made his career and his name and his paycheck because he's taken difficult shots. Cuck shots, right? But he's made some of them.
Yeah.
And if you, I suppose one of you live by the sword, you die by the sword, right? I would play by the numbers and pick the teams that generally take more good quality shots. And again, that's Cleveland. Or the team that rebounds better. And that's Cleveland. Or the team that has a slightly more consistent defense. And again, that's Cleveland. And so they've lost home court advantage, right? They have a lot of it to prove. I'm going to stand by what we said in the beginning, right? And go, Cleveland's going to win this one.
More than likely. Another series that doesn't have a bunch of players that don't have experience, but is a series with a bunch of players with a lot of experience, which is the Clippers-Suns series. Wow. But did Kawhi Leonard pitch up on that night in Game 1, even though Game 2, we now know that Suns won Game 2. But Game 1 for me was a statement game by Kawhi Leonard. Russell Westbrook is a different conversation and what he did. But Kirk said something interesting in one of our chats, was that for Kawhi Leonard to come out, score 38, absolutely dominate on offense, and then in the fourth quarter to defend the other team's best player, which happens to be Kevin Durant, and win that game, is the type of game where you are telling the other team, you're not going to make this easy for them. And I think I want this. Gentlemen, tell me, I'm going to start with you. What are your thoughts on the Clippers-Phoenix series, man? Wow, what amazing basketball.
So interesting stat. I think that your point around Kawhi being the two-way player, dominating on offense, and then taking the most difficult assignment, taking KD, a crazy stat over the last 10 years, right? And remember, Kawhi didn't play in the last two, right?
Yeah.
The three people, there were three people that has guarded KD the most in playoffs, and Kawhi is in that top.
Wow.
Is in the top three.
Wow.
The other one's Trevor Ariza, and I forget who the last one is. I suppose my point is, it's not just a now, right? Actually, he's picked up that mantle regardless.
Yeah, I've been doing.
Yeah, exactly. Also, the sample size, right, around him scoring over the last some ridiculous amount, 40, 50 playoff games, right? Kawhi's averaging 30. Like that's Michael Jordan type stats. Right? I mean, just comprehend that. And you said Game 1 was his big one. Actually, the first half of Game 2, he bullied everybody.
Completely.
I mean, it was like a man playing with children who didn't sign the indemnity forms. Right? It was ridiculous.
There was one play, KD's bringing the ball down, and Kawhi stands, and KD tries to cross over, and Kawhi just takes it from him, and goes coast to coast with KD Brooks towards him, trying to get, and he's like just. It was like unbelievable. That bra is so strong.
Crazy. And sorry, the one last point on Kawhi, right? Because we can talk about the offense, we can talk about the defense. Actually, the thing that stood out to me most, right, is that he's become a proper creator. Right, the offense runs through him. He creates space for people. He doesn't necessarily take the ball and only go tunnel vision. I'm going to score because I can beat my man. He is getting everybody involved. Right? He's giving Gordon the ball. Russell will get his shots. He keeps everybody interested. And I haven't ever seen that from him to this degree consistently across a game. That is that's flippin' special. And the others, I mean, just think about the storylines of the others, right? Batum was hidden away on the Hornets and he couldn't get any game time. They refused to play him, right? Now he's playing everything from 3 to 5. He's starting, he's off the bench, he's making big shots, taking big shots. Russ was called the league's worst contract, right? He couldn't get game time anywhere, right? He was the scapegoat on a variety of teams. All of a sudden, he's transformed himself, the thing that people said he couldn't do, right? And he's playing and focusing on defense first, right? Then going down and attacking, doing all the stuff actually he's always done.
Yes.
Before. Same thing for Gordon. Like, it's amazing what Ty Lue is doing. And like, I don't know if they're going to win. If PG was there, actually, I would go firmly. They're win. I love PG, right? And I love Russ. I love good things for them. And so I suppose let's enjoy it while it lasts.
Yes.
Yeah. Your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, again, I'm not sure if they're going to win the series, but like you say, they're gonna give it a shout. They're gonna push Suns all the way.
Yeah.
What was interesting was how the Suns struggled when they eliminated KD. When they were able to, when KD looked like he was struggling to get shots. I mean, he was taking some terrible looking shots, like drifting across the key, taking a fadeaway jumper, and just bricking it totally. And once he settled and he started making those easy jumpers, then everything started falling into place. Then Devin Booker started getting to the basket. He started looking. I mean, at one point, Devin Booker was under the rim. He missed a point-blank layup. He shot it over the rim for a fucking NBA player. And that's the pressure that they get put under. I mean, but once KD settled, everything fell into place. And that is the value that KD brings to that. And if he can achieve it, they'll be good. But if they can disrupt him like they did in 1.5 games so far, they're in with a shout, yeah.
I believe a firm turning point in game 2 was, so in game 1, what Russ did was he denied the ball, right? They had a crazy stat of the Russ possessions where he defended, right? 57 on the ball, right? Only 6 points were scored or something crazy like that, yeah? The first half, he was denying the ball. He was all over KD. He picked up 2 fouls. When he went to the bench, right? All of a sudden, KD got a little bit more comfortable, and then thereafter things fell apart. And again, one can't help but think, if Russ can do that, you know how good PG would have been in that same space, right? Who is downright a better defender than Russ.
And as much as we're waxing lyrical about Clippers, I must say that when Russ and Norman Powell on the court together, good Lord.
It's like 2 children fighting for attention. Yeah.
We're like, we've all played with that guy.
Yeah.
That just takes every single, and he's the one person that shouldn't be taking those shots. And this bruh he believes that he can score 50
He's
a
the
night.
He's the O.
The playoffs really bring the attention to the Stay in the Lane award.
Yeah.
Norm Powell, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. I don't mind Norm Powell shooting.
Yeah.
But when Gordon's on the one side and Kawhi's on the other, and you like, I've got this.
I'm him. I'm him. Yeah. But the playoffs do magnify who they really are, the players. Yeah. If you are a selfish guy that just wants to put up your shots when you want to put up your shots, you can see it in the game. Yeah. You can see how the plays are run, etc., etc. Anyway, moving on.
So Diane Taurasi said something interesting. She said, the playoffs shows who can and who can't. That's what she said.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Simple.
Yeah.
Because on any given day, a player like Devin Booker would never miss that.
Yeah.
Never. If you gave him 100 chances, he'd make 100. But when you add the bright lights, the pressure, the moment, it changes things.
Yeah.
Wait. Are you saying Booker can't?
No, we're talking about the
Mr. Leo.
play.
All right.
Yeah, we're talking about the... Welcome, Tim.
Nice. There will be no Booker shade here, sir.
I must admit, I did think that he was saying.
He was there, exactly.
No, I was speaking about.
Did you hear that?
Not even when I hit his buzzer does it work.
One series that has completely changed from before game one to post game one is the Milwaukee series. Milwaukee played Miami, and at the beginning of the series, we said this is a sweep. It's gonna be 4-0, and then Giannis gets injured. Even though they are down 1-0, I do believe Milwaukee are still the favorites. Assuming Giannis doesn't come back, do Miami stand a chance, Kirk?
Of course they stand a chance.
Realistically.
They stand a chance with Giannis there as well. But they stand way less of a chance.
No, I know, but on the series, though.
Something I want to talk about that Giannis injury. It happened to him. It happened to Ja. It happened to Steph as well. And it's a cuck call. And Timmy likes the charge call.
Me?
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh.
You fucking hate the charge call.
What happened?
But what's happening is a guy is committing to his move.
Yeah.
He's in mid-move and somebody steps in front of him.
Preach.
That is a dick move.
Actually.
And I mean,
Preach.
for guys that are so explosive, like Ja was so high when AD stepped in front of him. And that was such a puss move. And Oaks can get, and you see Oaks are getting seriously injured because of that weak play. They should figure out how to officiate that better.
What do you suggest? How should they officiate it better?
Why is there a charge?
Shouldn't be a charge. Yeah.
What's the point of the charge call?
I was faster than you. Right? I was faster than you into your lane. So
The only thing that should be a charge is if I take my elbow and I hit you, or I clear you out. But getting into that spot, like,
or if I'm standing
gives a
there,
shit?
if I'm standing there and I run into you, I can see how that can be a charge, right? But if I commit to my move and you come and jump in front of me like, ha!
yeah. For those of you that don't know, maybe just can you explain the charge rule quickly? Just quickly.
No.
I'll go. So if I've got the ball and I'm driving towards the basket, right, and I'm about to do a little layup. If I'm running in a straight line and a guy immediately comes within my lane and I run right through him, that's called a charge, and the other team will actually get the ball. Am I explaining that right?
So technically, if a defender has position,
Yes.
so if a defender is there and the offensive player initiates contact,
Yes.
it's a charge, right? But they are manipulating the rule by once an offensive player has committed to his move to step in front of him and freeze and then let him run into him. And so they are fabricating the charge effectively.
So, again, I don't think you should have a charge for getting in somebody's way. I think a charge should be called if you drop a shoulder. A charge should be called if you lift an elbow, right? A charge can maybe even be called, right, if you really want, right, if the player is standing still and you lift the knee into them, like something malicious, right? Other than that, what's the point of the charge, right? All the other rules that they've changed to make the game more flowing, right, to clear out space, to make it a higher scoring game, everything else has gone left except for this one archaic rule. Bizarre. Get it out of here.
Let us know your thoughts while we continue with Milwaukee.
That is a very emotional discussion. I told you, Tim Lam.
Got opinions.
You want to finish off? Do you give them a chance? Do you give Miami a chance?
Would you put your beater now on it? Six pack. You
That
believe Miami's
Miami
gonna
would
win?
be no chance.
Okay, well then, so no, he does not give you a chance.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yourself?
I'm with him.
Same. If Giannis does not come back, you both still feel that there's no way Miami are going through.
But he is coming back. He's he might even play in the next game. It's a pain tolerance thing, right? But even if he doesn't come back, I just think that they're a better team. I think like Miami Miami has enough to win a couple of games, but they're not a balanced team. Bam's not going to play as well as he did, right? And even if Jimmy plays out of his skin, Strus is not going to play as well as he did, and Tyler Hero's also out. Right? It's too much. It's too much. Let's keep it moving.
All right, we'll keep it moving. The LA Lakers have won their first game. Ja Morant has a sore hand. Steven Adams isn't playing. And the Lakers have momentum. And the world would want LeBron James in the second round. Kirk, the world. We can't get Jordan. We can't get. This is the GOAT.
Alex Caruso. Chicago Bulls
Out.
are out.
All right, Kirk, let's start with you. Lakers have won one. What are your thoughts? Have you changed?
Lakers are going to take the series. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. With or without Ja. Lakers are swarming on defense. They're swarming on defense. And in the fourth, they look like they know what they're doing. They know how to close a game out.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference. Yeah. If you look at the way the Grizz are playing, in close games, when in the closeout, they're relying on one-on-ones, they're relying on clear outs, they're relying on talent to get them through.
Yes.
And that for me, that really works.
Timmy?
I'm gonna zag on this one. Not because my brain tells me I should, but simply because I called for Memphis.
Yeah.
I'm also not convinced that after one game you should throw the baby out of the bathwater.
I don't think it's one game though. I think it's
It's actually one game.
It
No,
literally is one game. They played one game.
But the confidence doesn't come from the one game. The confidence comes from knowing the players on both teams and knowing what we know. That's why we can say.
But what is, other than this one game, how is it possible for
Because
you to doubt
because
the
in no way are we supposed to bet the 7th seed over the 2nd seed. In no way. But because we know who is in the team, we can say that.
Okay, actually, maybe that brings a slightly different question,
Okay.
right? How important do you believe the regular season to be?
Seeding only and home court advantage.
But I mean so do you believe what has happened in the season? Is that a
It's not always an accurate.
signal?
It's not always an accurate reflection of what a team is capable of doing.
And then of course the next question
It's not
is
always an accurate. So in some instances they might underperform in the season
Yes.
and do better.
Yes.
100%.
Golden State last year.
Okay, no,
Good
that's fair.
example. Yeah.
Yeah, but Memphis was great.
Yes.
What
Jazz,
what
the Jazz,
in the
the
season?
Jazz have been great in the past.
Yes.
The Suns
Yes.
have been great in the
Yes.
past.
Yes.
There have been many teams that have
Yes.
been fantastic through the regular season. The Bucks have been fantastic in the past.
I hear all of that. But what about the Memphis season? Because you said it's because what you've seen from both teams and who the players are.
Yeah.
What in Memphis' season has given you an indication that they would suddenly fold?
They've lost two of the crucial players.
Steven Adams.
They're defensive players.
Yes.
They've
But
lost.
they've done that on multiple times over the last 3 years and won. In fact, they've won more without Ja than with him.
Regular season, not playoffs.
Regular
So
season.
it's
But
a-
again, my point is you can't then pick and choose what things you want to take, what things you don't want to take.
Well, you can. Because it's in context, right? So you can say, yes, the Grizz are fantastic. They do this. All these things indicate that they're going to do well. But they're up against a team that currently composed isn't actually the 7th seed.
Yes, that is my point.
The acquisitions
That
that
is my
they've
point.
made and the players that have developed are turning into better parts than they had 2 months ago.
I'll accept that, right? So from trade, right? So from when they acquired those players, right? What was their record in comparison to the Grizz?
The Lakers
Because-
have had an amazing record
Yeah, but
since the trade.
sure. But I suppose my point is, it's not fundamentally different to what the Grizz was in that same period, right? And again, it's one game, writing them off completely just seems. It seems. It seems.
Yeah.
I
That
think
we
I
not
really have beat, unfortunately.
that we not take into consideration their seeding, basically is what you're saying. And I'm saying that the seeding is the seeding, and that's
Not the
what
seeding. I'm talking about the track record. Right? They've got a good track record with or without their players. Yeah? It's bizarre after one game where we were, it's over.
But,
Yeah.
but back to my point, it's not one game. It's
It is-
not that we're saying what we're saying because of the one game.
Okay,
Go.
it's opinion. It's not
It's also true.
fact.
Yeah.
So it's not because I say they are cuck, they are cuck.
Before the
In
series
my
started,
humble
you
opinion.
called it for the Grizz.
I did.
Okay, you called it for the Lakers.
Obviously.
Right? And I suppose one game changed, and Kirk says, nah, it's the Lakers. That's
I've changed my mind.
That's the definition of it's one game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've changed
Yes.
my mind because of what I've seen
Yeah.
in that critical game.
Cool.
Yeah. Is it okay?
No, that's fine. I was disagreeing. I was disagreeing on
But your point
I was
is-
disagreeing on the point was it is literally just one game.
It is literally
Yeah.
this one.
And we
But it was a very
But I'm
crucial
saying
game.
it's not one game.
He said it's not one game.
Because it is one game,
But it's
for him to change his mind. But it's not one game to make him confidently say the Lakers are winning this one. He didn't change his mind specifically only because of that one game.
I just don't,
I don't
wanna-
think
I
so.
just don't want to lose my beat.
It's because he
So
knows who's been in the finals for all those years. Moving along.
Don't put
moving
words in
along,
my
moving
mouth. Don't put words in my mouth.
along. Yeah.
Take your words out of his mouth.
After the break, we're gonna get dig.
Digger into his mouth.
Yeah, delete that. After the break, we're going to talk about the Golden State Warriors being 2-0 down to the Sacramento Kings.
Stomped on.
I can't wait to hear how these two fellas feel
Pump
about
the
it.
yard.
Chat you now. Welcome back to the show. It's the NBA SA show. We continue talking about the NBA playoffs and our lack of sleep. Some for basketball, some because they have new babies. All right, the last series that we'd like to talk about is the blockbuster. It's the Sacramento Kings that ended the season in 3rd position in the West, and the Golden State Warriors that ended in 6th. Yeah. Everything about history tells us that Golden State should win the series because of who's playing in the team. The regular season tells us that Sacramento should win it because they ended 3rd. But of course, we are now in a situation where the 3rd seed has won the first 2 games according to plan. But they are playing against a team with massive, massive pedigree and experience. Kirk, I'm going to start with you as a Golden State fan, as a guy that's been following the team. What will Golden State do in Game 3?
Lose.
Wow!
Get the broom.
Wow! Tell me more, Kirk.
Actually, I don't know what's happening at this stage because game 2 was a surprise. We expected Golden State to
Come back and win.
to come back and win because although as we know their road record has been sucky this year, but it's playoffs. They had their full squad back. They looked good in game 1 despite the fact that they lost it. Turnovers have been an issue. Turnovers are continuing to be an issue. They just don't value possession at the moment. It's so bizarre. For a team with so much experience to just look so inexperienced, it is strange. And I mean, we've said it many times that they do dumb shit and they have this tendency to fall into this rut. And it seems like it's just become, for this series, it looks like that's just who they are. And remember we said earlier on in the season that this is a matchup that we want to see because of the fact that Golden State is an aging team. Could this be their last legs? Is this the time where they hand over the mantle and get knocked out by a team that is basically the poor man's Golden State Warriors at this point?
Yeah, I don't see them handing over the mantle. I think Sacramento are taking it.
Yeah.
Draymond Green might not play in Game 3.
He definitely
not
is not
playing.
playing.
Definitely is not playing. If you didn't know, there was an incident where Sabonis, what looks like, grabbed his leg and he stomped on his tummy. Terrible, terrible incident. You feel the same way, Tim? Is it an absolute loss? Are they going down 3-0?
You see, Wes, I think the season means something.
And it's only been 2 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's played out in both of those games the way that the season said it would, right? It said the Golden State do dumb shit, right? It says Draymond is gonna punch or kick somebody, right? It says that Golden State play piss poor away from home, right? All of those things came to fruition, right? And the Kings lit the beam. Yeah. Draymond properly cost him. It was a dumbass thing to do. And can we just stop there for a moment? Right? Because people, I see commentary where they're like, Sabonis held his leg. So many possessions before that, players are holding each other all the time. There's contact that happens all the time. Looney picked up his 5th foul either just before that or just after that because he was holding Sabonis' arm. Sabonis didn't give him a right hook, right? Because it's part of the game.
It's part of the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah? It's going to happen. There's going to be that contact. Responding when your team has all the momentum. Yeah? Golden State, I think you mentioned it, had the Kings on the ropes. They were coming back. Steph had just made a couple of big shots. Clay had made a couple of big shots. The momentum was shifting. All of a sudden, that experience, squeaky bum seat time. And then he does that. And then he proceeds to act like an idiot afterwards. Yeah. I reckon they probably ended up suspending him
Because of his reaction.
more because of the antics that he had afterwards. That's not a good look for the NBA, right? And
What is that about, though?
Adam Silver is gonna have to go. Well, we can't have that. Right? That's not good for the brand. Everybody else take a note. DBAP.
Yeah. They actually,
Yeah.
I think in the report they said that it's because,
Because of his, all his previous behaviors, etc., etc. Yeah. Look, if he wasn't, I picked Sacramento before. If Draymond wasn't suspended, I'd probably go, look, it's still the Warriors are still even with a shout. But he changes their defense completely. As much as I can criticize him for all the weird stuff that he does, when he plays, he's amazing. He's the glue that keeps that defense together. He's the link between all of the offense. Without him, you literally only have Steph creating any form of offense, right? Because they can't play Jordan Poole, and Jordan Poole isn't creating anything for anybody else. And Clay, as much as he can shoot and still make big shots, he's not getting open by himself. And if you give him the ball, right, he's not creating for anybody, and he can't even get his own shot now. Yeah. Draymond was a big part of it, and people say, he's not great in offense. Offense isn't just scoring, right? It's being that link. It's pushing the ball up the court. It's getting open shots for people, getting them in space. And I honestly think he's the second most important player, right? For his two-way effect. And without that, it's just too much of a hill to climb. And then that sneaky other stat, which I didn't realize until looking at the stats. Sacramento are actually a better away team than they are at home.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that they could smell some beat. And remember, they don't have to win game 3.
Yeah.
Right? They take one game, right? And that puts the Warriors all the way on the verge. The Warriors have got to win 4 the next 5 against a team that is red hot. And a team that hasn't even played that well. So Sacramento didn't have a great game from Sabonis in the first one, right? And in the second game, right, they shot 9 of 35 or something from 3, 24%, something that they never do, right? Eventually, things are actually going to click for them, and then the Warriors are in real time.
Can we talk about how amazing Malik Monk has been for Sacramento?
He was hot there.
Yo, man, for a bench player to come into a game, if I just said any bench player coming into a game, and to bring so much impact and so much points and so much vibe, and I think it does help that De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk are friends. You can see it. You can actually see it.
Yeah.
They played together in college. They're now playing together again. It just makes a difference when you know someone for longer, right? Which almost makes me think of the Suns. That even when you put together an amazing collection of basketball players, it means something to have played together for longer. And maybe that's what we see.
Yeah.
When the Suns just don't click as much.
So when the chips are down, pick
You know
a team
that-
that's played together a lot.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe those type of things.
Exactly.
But I
You mean like the Grizz?
or the Lakers. because in a team, hear me out. So in a team like the Lakers, right?
Nobody else matters.
There's two guys. Even you go Golden State. Every team has one or two guys that do 90% of the offense, and the other three have role players, right? So if your two players that have been playing together, or your stars have been playing together for long,
You mean lived in the same city together?
nah, just played together for long. LeBron and AD
One
have now
at a
been
time.
together for 4 years.
Yeah.
That means something.
Well, technically, it's probably like 2 years because
Maybe
they've
like
been
1.5.
They've been injured so often.
That's why they've lived in the same city together for the last 4 years.
But
And won a championship together.
But anyway, a bubble championship. But anyway, about Golden.
Yeah, I got about Golden State. My point I try to make is I really wanna commend Sacramento playing well over Golden State being crap. That's the point I want to get to. Yeah, I think Sacramento are playing hard.
The saving grace, the one saving grace that Golden State has is that Sabonis might not play Game 3 either.
And I foresee, because Draymond is out,
They probably
I see Curry coming with fireballs. Curry's gonna bomb. Nobody else is shooting. Curry's gonna bomb. 40 shots.
The problem is they need to stop Sacramento from
in that fourth. Oh, yeah. That's the problem. It's not that Golden State can't score.
Yes.
It's that how you're going to defend. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So Kirk's mentioned this a few times, right? Sacramento are the poor man's Golden State because they run their offense in a very similar way, right? And in many ways, that's because the coach literally was taken across and is now coaching the Kings, right? What is interesting is the way that they play defense, and their primary first option defense against that offense is fundamentally different. Right? So the Warriors are playing that drop coverage, right? So they're dropping all the way back, right? And Fox is coming in and he's getting that mid-range shot, he's getting that floater going, right? He's getting whatever the hell he wants.
And Monga's getting open threes.
Yes.
Exactly, right? And the Kings are putting in more effort. And so when that screen happens on top, actually they've got Sabonis who's running out and he's chasing Peyton, he's chasing Clay, and Clay's not even getting around.
They're getting
Sabonis.
hands in passing lanes.
Yeah,
and stuff,
exactly.
Which is bizarre.
Yeah. So the one's pushing all the way out and the other one's going all the way in. And I don't know if Draymond's not playing, that they have the manpower. Can you see Looney pushing out? No. He's going to be dropping even further in, right? And I don't know who they're going to replace Draymond with. Maybe with a Kuminga. Maybe he could do it actually, right? But still, Looney is not. So Looney, and all they'll do is they'll call that screen with Looney in it, whoever he's guarding, right? He's going to drop down again, and Fox is going to get himself into the key. Unless they bench Looney, and then they're going ultra small. And you go ultra small, who's going to guard Sabonis?
Nah, then Sabonis is taking over.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, Kirk. If you have to call it after 2 games, what do you call it? I know you picked Golden State. You still feel the same way?
Look, so Sacramento have done what they were meant to do. They kept home court. So we'll see. We'll know after game 3.
So the question is, what do you call? After 2 games, what do you call?
I'm going to stick with Golden State.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I like that. I like that.
That's
I like
as
that.
stubborn as me picking the
nice.
girls.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is as stubborn.
Yeah. That's what it is.
At some point, we have to make an emotional.
Die by my sword. I will
That's-
die by my sword.
We have to make an emotional.
I respect that. I respect that
yeah.
wholeheartedly.
Your call?
Same call.
Same call?
Same
Okay,
call as
Sacramento.
Same call as I
Sacramento.
made. Same call as this guy. The Kings.
All right, gentlemen, thanks so much.
Hold on, so one more.
Yes.
There's another stay in your lane winner.
Which is?
Davion Mitchell.
Ooh.
Davion Mitchell for the Kings. And we've said many good things about the Kings. And Mitchell has done an amazing job putting Steph under a lot of pressure, as well as you can put Steph under pressure.
Yeah.
But my guy. If Fox is on the one side and Monk is open on
Just
the other
make
side.
2.
Yeah. Don't shoot, pal.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah. We gave you a job.
Yeah.
Just do that job.
You did a great job.
Don't come out here
Yeah,
thinking
you did a
that
great job.
You now the deputy principal.
And you,
Relax, nigga. You're still a teacher.
Look at
Just relax.
Arguably, he made the game deciding three.
Yes.
Arguably he did, right? But
Yeah.
that's because it came off flow and he was open and they gave him the ball.
That's
and they said
right.
shoot it.
That's
Right?
right.
But when they standing like this and they are open and you shoot it, wrong one. Wrong one.
So, just one more thing about Sacramento. Like, I guess if there's one team that you wouldn't mind Golden State losing to, it's Sacramento.
Yes. Yes.
They feel good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I found interesting is that when they announce the teams, the superstar normally comes out last, right? They normally save the.
That's right. The big star for the. Yeah.
Do you know whose name they call out first in Sacramento? Darren Fox.
And who's lost?
Who cares?
about-
Darren
yeah.
Fox is their fucking star. When he comes out first, he's like, I'll come out first.
So interesting, I watched that for the Suns this morning. Yeah, who came out first?
I don't know.
Who do you think should have come out first? Hey, let's do that. Throw ball. Who should come?
The star of the Suns.
Shaman. As the O that gives the best high five.
Yeah.
He comes out
Yeah.
first.
It's the O with the longest handshake. Left over right, left over right.
Okay, so for Phoenix, who should come out last? Maybe that's the better way.
Kevin
eh?
Durant's the best player.
KD should come out last. Who should come out second last?
Second last.
Devin Booker.
Either CP or Book.
Okay, and then third?
CP.
CP. Well, and then
Okay.
The rest.
And then Aiton.
Yeah.
And then whoever the other starter
Yeah,
is. Yeah,
that's Shem.
Tory Craig.
Tory Craig.
Tory Craig, yeah. KD came out first.
Oh.
And Book came out last.
You know why? Because he's new.
Last in, first out.
That's it? That's it? We out!
next
You
week.
heard it here first. Kind of like Kyrie. You thought we were going to talk Mavs? Cut!
Before Tim goes. Yeah. Catch you next week.